Okay, these are two major missteps people are making in their dating process, and it goes for men and for women, but a lot for women. Um, and I might make this in two parts just because it's a little bit lengthy. Okay, the first one is when we talk about connection or chemistry or that feeling you want to get when you meet someone. And this is especially true for midlife dating and forward, where I hear, well, I just didn't get that feeling on the first date, whatever. Okay, first things first, I want to say to you, when you feel amazing chemistry on a first date, especially in midlife, treat that as a red flag. If you get to know someone and your values and interests align and you have that chemistry on top of that, you've hit the lotto. This is not typical. And let's talk about why that is a red flag. And here's an example. I was talking to this gorgeous client I have who is midlife. I've presented her with three stellar guys, and she's passed on each one for really reasons that are not worthy. So I had to have a drill down session with her because I'm like, she's not going to be happy with anybody. And she's been single quite a while. And as wonderful as she is and as beautiful as she is, you're like, how is she possibly single, right? Well, here's why. And she goes, well, he goes, for an example, she goes, I was out with some friends. I met them up at this restaurant bar and we were having some drinks. And some friends of theirs came over and there was this guy and we just hit it off and he was so wonderful and I just felt an ease and a connection and he was really flirting with me heavy. And then later I found out that from my friend that he's got a girlfriend. But she goes, but that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of feeling I'm looking for. And I said, okay, well, here's the problem. Your connection radar is way off. And that's what sort of got you in this position that you've been through a series of relationships that disappointed you, and your sensing mechanisms are screwed up, basically. But you said you're really into this guy, but then when the truth comes out, he's with another woman and he's flirting with you. Okay, let's start there. Is that a guy you want to be with? Because when he's with you, he's going to be doing that with other women. Is that something you want? And that was like the perfect example of showing, we can't trust connection and that ooh feeling because it's just not reliable. And it usually comes from unconscious things about our past, and we don't need to go further into that right now. But I'm telling you, what you really want to pay attention to in midlife are two things: your values, most important, and your interests. So let's talk about what values are. Using that first example of that guy who was flirting heavily with her, but he's got another girlfriend at home, right? You want to be with someone who shares your sense of loyalty and integrity in relationships. You want to be with someone who has the same kind of respect towards people that you do. You would never do that. You want someone who also has that sensibility. Or, a value isn't just honesty and integrity. It's like, I value my health in a certain way, so I do certain things in my day to day. And if you find that value, that someone values their body in that way, that's a value. Maybe you have that, and maybe that's something you want, but you want to be really clear on what your values are as a person and lean on your values when you are dating. And if you feel that face is red hot, I have connection here, I mean, that's fun, but you cannot count on that. And because of what's happened to us through our lives and our sensing systems are all screwed up in a sense, you gotta tune into values and date for values first, interest second. You don't have to have everything in common. Oh, we like football. Oh, we like exercising. Oh, we like the movies. Oh, we like travel. No, you just need a few commonalities that you can do some things together, because the difference of interests can help you broaden and expand yourself. Okay. But this piece about connection for midlifers, especially, be wary. of chemistry and connection. It is not an accurate barometer of whether or not that person is going to be right for you. And what happens if you really date for values first, and you're dating those qualities that you really admire in a person, those are the building blocks of friendship. And most people, a lot of people, if they've been single for a time, they're always considering the opposite sex friends they have as potential partners. But you never know what might grow from a true connection of like values and interests. So I hope you will hear me on this and take my advice on this point, that that connection feeling, it's not trustworthy. And so you really need to look further and date values and interests. So I'm going to make a part two about the second thing you guys are doing that's screwing you up in the dating scene.